I am here, brother.
Alright. And what, Kevin Hart voice. Glad to hear your voice. Thanks for being here on today. Do you need a moment, or are you in a position to get into us Facebook, or what do you want to do this morning?
Well, I am on Facebook Live, and so if we just give everyone like 1 minute to either plug in there or share the call with the phone number and people dial in, we'll be getting started in about, well, let's make it 30 seconds, Dion, 30 seconds, because people are starting to get on the Facebook Live as well.
Okay.
Hey, y'all.
Guys, make sure you share this number. One single person does not have the Facebook Live. If they're your friend on Facebook and your friend with Trevor Walker, and you can basically share this motivation
Pringles.
live with them directly from your Facebook page. So make sure you're sharing the live.
Good morning. Good morning.
Sharing the website as well as sharing.
We're going to be interactive today. I hope y'all are ready.
Motivational call. I just want to make sure we pass this call out Monday through Friday, 12 Eastern Standard Time. On Monday, I give you some money motivation from Trevor Walker herself.
All right, guys.
On Facebook,
One more Pringle.
Looking forward to seeing you guys very, very soon.
Good morning, Carrie. Hey, Carrie. Olivia. All right, Dion. Well, we got people jumping on. John Ruffin, good to see you. Some of our Dream Team members, amazing. Good to connect with you guys. Sheila, Dina is on. Let's see, Roger and Paulo and Tyree Thomas and some amazing, amazing people inside of my circle, my network, my friends list. And I'm eating my last Pringle. Everybody on Facebook saw I was eating my last Pringle. And today, guys, let me chew this. Oh my goodness. I love Pringles. Today, guys, what we are going to talk about is, well, let me go back here. Let me just delete this because I've asked this person to stop doing that. Yes, I am Eastern Time. I am in Atlanta. All right, so I see you guys are on. Melissa, Tino, good to see you. Jasmine, hey, Candace. I know our LA squad is deep. I have on our LA shirt this morning because, y'all, I just felt the energy that LA was going to be in the building. So I have on my Los Angeles little tank top today. James Starr, good to see you as well. Corey, Sheree. All right, guys, so here's the deal. This is going to be an interactive call on today. As you guys know, it's Money Mondays. I do this call every single Monday at 12 p.m. noon Eastern Standard Time. Hi, Taisha. And it is part of our midday motivational series that we do Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. noon. It's just that Mondays is my particular day to share and give value and speak to the market from my perspective and to give as much as I possibly can as an act of service, sowing seeds, so on and so forth. And so today, being that it's Money Monday, I have a question for you. And I really want interaction, especially if you are on Facebook Live. And if you are on the call, then you can, in fact, let me do this. Let me mute the call because I forgot to do that.
All participants are muted,
okay.
And they can unmute themselves.
All right. So if you're on the call and you know the answer to the question, I want you to star 6 and unmute yourself. If you are on the Facebook Live and you know the answer, I want you to type it in the comment section. And the reason is because I really want to see how many of you guys are on or in alignment with what this really is, okay? What this really is. So the question for today to kick off this midday motivational call this Monday is, what is the secret to success, okay? And there is a definite answer. It's not your own opinion. It's not any of that. It's not, oh, well, I think it's this. It's not. There is a definite response and a definite answer to the secret of being successful. All right. So if you know what that is, I want you to go ahead and I want you to type it in the comment section here on Facebook. And if you're on the call and you know the answer, I want you to star 6, unmute yourself and tell me what the answer is. Okay. And I'm going to kind of go through some of these things and I'm going to get into the nitty gritty of what it is. The secret part and the not so secret part. All right. So let's see. Ralph says the secret to success is found in your daily routine. Well, that may be great, Ralph. I would not disagree that your repetition and what you do daily contributes to your success, but that is not the secret. That is not the secret. If that's the case, then everybody who had, a decent daily routine would also be ultra successful or be successful. Okay. That is not what guarantees success, is the routine. All right. John says secret to success, goal plus plans plus perseverance. Great. That's awesome, John. Okay. And you guys have amazing perspectives on this. And it's because you've been in personal development, right? And you know that goals are important. You know that you have to plan, and you know that you have to push through. That's amazing. But that is not the secret to success. Okay. Alignment. Elijah. Okay. We're kind of almost there a little bit. You have to expound on that a little bit for me. Commitment, Susan. Not so much. Olivia says, set goals, accomplish them, never give up. Not so much, guys. Not so much. Minnie says being persistent. Stephen says having the right mindset, being consistent, and taking the right daily actions. Okay, so that's similar to Elijah saying alignment, especially with the right mindset. So expound on that. What do you mean by that? Paul, now Paul, my brother, Paul, that you're on the right track with me, Paul, right? Progressive realization of your goals. Okay, so you're on the right track with me, but I need to hear the words because it's specific. It's specific. It's not a roundabout. It's not a gauge. It is what it is. Okay. Russell, I'm going to delete this one last time, and I'm going to have to ban you if you keep doing that. I've already sent you a private message a little earlier today, okay, and asked you just to kind of respect my wall and my content. You can post that wherever you want. I'm just going to ask that you don't post it on my wall and my content, okay? Hey, Keisha. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon. Hey, Miata. All right. So anybody know? I want to hear the specific secret to success. Okay. Hey, Christy. Good morning to you. Good afternoon to you. Okay. So it looks like everyone is kind of on track. Okay. Here we go. Carrie says having a main definite purpose and gratitude. Close, Carrie. Close. Sheree says there is no secret. Well, my dear sister, yes, there is. This is not like a trick question. Yes, there is. There is a secret. And the secret, in fact, is the reality that the secret is not really a secret, because when I tell you what the secret is, all of these people that have given me answers are going to say, oh, I know that. Right. But the key is this. If you know that, then how come that's not your answer? Right. You've given me everything but that. Right. So the thing is, as personal development, as we participate in personal development, it's not one. It's one thing to just read personal development and say, "Oh yeah, I read that book," or "Oh yeah, I listened to that audio," or "Oh yeah, I studied this person or went to their conference or bought their course." There's a whole nother thing to actually listen, buy the course, read, and then take from it what it just told you. Right? It's like reading comprehension. It's like listening comprehension. It's like what we're trying to teach our children right now. It's like you can just read a bunch of words, but if the words do not translate into comprehension, then you just really haven't read anything. You just murmured some words, but you did not grow as a result of it. Okay. Let's see. Sheila says, surrounding yourself with like-minded people and follow. These are all really, really good supplements. These are amazing supplements. You must first see it in the unseen. Tino, you're probably the closest that anyone has been. Okay. Gary says, implementing, focusing on your major definite purpose. Keisha, you, Tino, who's this? My boy up here. Who did I say? Paul was kind of there, and Elijah. All right. You guys are kind of like right there on it. And let me just go ahead and jump into it so that we can go ahead and nail this down, because if anybody else asks you what the secret to success is, you better be able to explain to them what the secret to success is, because it is the thing that if you are going to be the leader of a team, or if you are going to be the head of an organization, or if you are going to be the manager in an office, or a supervisor, or a CEO, or a president, or anything like that, you're going to be a basketball coach or a football coach or anything like that, The secret to success must be a core definite thing. It can't be everybody's rendition, because that would explain why so many people are not successful. Right? Because they have their own rendition of what the secret is. But the people that know what the true secret is and they practice it, it is a constant amongst the successful people. Okay. Let's see a couple of things. Let's see. I'm gonna keep on reading these couple of tunes. I'm gonna jump right into it. Putting out, Stephen says, putting out the right vibrations of what you want into the universe. Okay. Stephen, you're close, right? That's kind of like the whole alignment thing, right? All right. Candace says setting goals, creating proper atmosphere to attain your goals, writing goals down, speaking them daily, creating a winner mindset, being consistent daily. Awesome. Okay. Gary says a progressive realization of a worthy idea. Okay. All right. That is definitely what success is, right? That's what, so if we had to define success, it would be the progressive realization of a worthy idea. That is the definition of success. But my question is, what is the secret to that? So in order to get that, so you want success equals the progressive realization of a worthy idea. In order to get that progressive realization of a worthy idea, what is the secret? Right? So Gary, you've got the definition for sure, but what is the secret? And here is the secret. And it's not really a secret, because when I say it, you're going to say, oh, shoot, I know that. But I need you to be able to communicate that when you are asked, what is the secret? Okay. That's the difference. The difference between knowing something and just, oh my God, yeah, it's in my brain, are two different things. Okay. So the secret to success is this: you get what you think about most. You get what you think about most. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? You get what you think about most. That's the secret. Okay? Listen to what I'm saying to you guys. Listen, it's not about having it in your spirit. It's not about work. It's not about self-discipline. I mean, all those things matter, but listen to what I just said. If you're going to write or type anything, type what I just said. Don't still type what you want to type in your head, because you're just, this is what happens. People are trying to give you the answer and you've got what you want in your head and you're not receiving. You've got to be open and receptive, All of you guys are open, but some of you guys are not that receptive, right? Receptive means you receive what I give you. It means, especially if you trust what I'm saying. Now, if you don't trust me, if I'm a person that doesn't have any influence, doesn't have any credibility with you, doesn't have any authority with you, doesn't have any type of expertise with you, then no, you will not receive for certain, okay? But if I am a person that has that relationship with you, whether it's direct or indirect, virtual or personal, if that is the case, then you must be receptive. And being receptive is understanding that my goal is not to tell you anything wrong, especially not deliberately. And as a student of personal development myself, I am only going to give you what we all know to be true. And most of you have known that. You have heard over and over and over and over again that you get what you think about most. It's said that what you focus on expands. How many of you heard that, right? What you focus on expands. That's the same thing as saying you get what you think about most, right? You get what you think about most. The secret is that if you think about the things, so Gary says, progressive realization of a worthy idea. Progressive realization of a worthy idea. Well, what is the worthy idea? What is the idea that's so worthy? In other words, let's reverse engineer this, right? If success, the definition of success is the progressive realization of a worthy idea, right? Then what is the worthy idea? So does that determine that you have to have a goal? Yes, that is true, that you do have to have a goal. So I said, everybody here that said that, you're on track. You're on track, but success is not just having the goal, right? Success is not just having the goal. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy idea, okay? So the question is, what is a worthy idea? Well, the worthy idea would then be your goal. Okay. So success is the progressive realization of your goal, right? The progressive realization of your goal. What is progressive? Progressive means it's moving. It's not an instant jump from where you are to boom where you want to be. It's progressive. It's through time. It's step by step. It's through challenges. It's through perseverance. So that's why perseverance is important. Some of you guys said that. That's perfectly fine. But that's not the secret to the progressive realization of your goal. The progressive realization. And what is realization? Realization is it becoming from the unseen to the seen. I believe Tino said that, right? That seeing it in the unseen first before it's in the seen. That's a realization, right? That's a realization. That's you can identify something that doesn't exist yet, and then you can continue to persevere towards that thing until it is in the physical form. So the progressive, the moving step by step, day by day, okay, that's progressive realization. So the step by step movement of something that is unseen into the scene. And what is that something? A worthy idea. Well, the worthy idea is your goal. Okay, so all those things together is the definition of success. But what's the secret to getting that success? The secret to getting it, the underlying thing that helps you to have a progressive realization of a worthy idea, the thing that helps you to do that, that helps you put that into motion, to put that into action, would be understanding that you get what you think about most. Right? They say, you ask and you shall receive, right? So as a man thinketh in his heart, right? So shall he what? Have, right? It's that. It's the things that you think about, the things that you believe. It's the things that you focus on the majority of the time. It's that leads you into a progression of realization. If you are not thinking about the thing that you want all the time, then how can you have a progression of realization? You will not progressively realize the goal that you've set unless you're constantly thinking about the goal that you've set. So the secret to a progressive realization is that you get what you think about most. You get what you think about most. So then if that's the case, because if you understand, like, you can no longer walk away and somebody asks you, what is the secret to success? You can tell them, well, the secret to success is that you get what you think about most. The secret, this underlying secret to all of that is that what you focus on expands, right? The secret is, a man that asketh, receiveth, right? If you knock on the door, it opens. If you believe, you get. Like, it's that. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? You guys understand what I'm saying? If you do not think about the thing that you want majority of your time, you will not have success, i.e., progressive realization of a worthy idea. How can you have progressive realization of something if you're not thinking about the something enough that creates progression? Okay, so the secret, which is not even a secret because you guys have heard this before, the secret is that you become what you think about most. Now, why is it so strange, right? As our brother Earl Nightingale, has strangest secret in the world. Why is it so strange? Because it's not really a secret. Why is it so strange? It's strange because all of our students of personal development, we're giving you the answer. This is the secret to the success, and nobody really practices it. It's strange because you, for whatever reason, you have something in your mind that's telling you that can't be it. Why? Because you believe that, the planning is it, that the work is it, that the being around successful people is it. Like, in your mind, it's the fact that if I'm around these people, then that will ensure my success, versus I get what I think about most. I get what I think about most. And if you're thinking about your worthy idea, then obviously the secret is that you're going to have a progressive realization of your worthy idea, of your goal. It will manifest itself. There is nothing that you can think about that you can that is possible to be manifested that won't be manifested because it's law. It's law. It's law from prior to any religious book. It's law because actually a book has even put it in it. Why? Because the writers, the people that wrote in the book, that created the book, they must have known that before the book. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? If so, in an example, here's what I'm saying. If you study the Bible, for example, if you study the Bible, you have to understand that somebody wrote those words. Somebody did, right? And if somebody wrote the words down, ask and you shall receive, that would mean that it would have had to have been knowledge before the book was written. It had to be in my mind. Someone or something would have had to initiate this concept in my mind, in my spirit first, before I could then write it out and put it in a book that now we might call the Bible. Do you understand? It doesn't matter New or Old Testament. It doesn't matter. I mean, I believe that this particular, well, I guess it would. I believe that this particular thing I'm talking about is most found in Mark, right? Mark, which would be Matthew, Mark, Luke, that's the New Testament, right? I'm not a Bible scholar, but hey, I memorized it when I was a kid. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. It's the New Testament. Okay. That's neither here nor there. It doesn't matter. The point is every book, every religious book says this. Every religious book in some way, some form, some fashion brings the words together that conveys the concepts that you get what you think about most. It does. And I'm just saying from a biblical standpoint, because so many people that follow me may be Christians, okay? That may be Christians. I don't know if you're a Christian or not. Okay, that's neither here nor there. I'm not saying that you have to be or should be. I'm just saying I know a lot of you guys read the Bible. So if a lot of you read the Bible, then it really shouldn't be a secret, even from the biblical standpoint, even if you never heard Earl Nightingale, even if you never heard Jim Rohn, even if you never heard Les Brown, even if you never heard any of these people, even if you never heard Bob Proctor. The bottom line is that if you did nothing, but you just read the Bible, then the secret is in there too. It's in there too. So what makes it so strange is that people still struggle so much over centuries, over generations, yet everybody is still talking about being successful. Doesn't success equal love? No, success does not equal love. What does success have to do with love? Nothing. Nothing. It has nothing to do. I just told you what success is. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy idea. That's what success is. Buddha, this is what I'm saying. I am sharing value with you and you are still in where you are okay. So now, Buddha, I'm getting ready to, kind of kick you off in just a second now. Okay. Because now you're starting to get a little too rowdy. Okay. So what did I say? Have I said anything about the word rich this whole time? Have I said anything about rich or physical wealth? Have I said anything about that in relationship to success? Anybody that's listening to me on this call or anybody that's watching me on this Facebook Live, have I said anything about how success equals riches? Have I said that? You're not listening. What I said was that success is the progressive realization of a worthy idea. And what I said was your worthy idea is your goal. That's what I said. It's your goal. It's your goal. So whatever the worthy idea is, if your worthy idea is rich, then that's your goal. Then it's the progressive realization of you being rich. Fine. But if your goal is to be the head cheerleader of the cheerleading squad on varsity, then your progressive realization of becoming the head cheerleader on varsity in your high school, that would be success for you. Okay. I didn't say it had anything to do with riches or wealth or this or that. If your success could be if you wanted a MacBook computer, if you wanted a Mac or a iMac computer, and you had a progressive realization of bringing what you don't have into the realm of what you do have. If you focus on having the Mac on the iBook or the iMac more than anything else, the law says that you shall get what you ask for. That's what it says. Okay. So that success is the progressive realization of the thing you want. So then you have to decide what you want, which is why you have somebody like Napoleon Hill that says the very first thing in the science of getting rich is you must have a burning desire. Like if you would actually just pull all this information together and start reciting it like you're in school and that you're going to get a medal or a star for it, and you actually use it in your life, then you will start to see things kind of blossom and mature for you because you are executing them versus regurgitating it. Okay, so that is why Napoleon Hill says, you must have a burning desire. Well, why must you have a burning desire? Well, if the definition of success is a progressive realization of a worthy idea, a worthy cause, or whatever it is, and that worthy cause, is equal to the goal that you've set, then that goal you've set, you must have a desire to reach the goal. If you don't desire to reach the goal, then you will not have a progressive realization of the goal. It's kind of simple. It's not hard. But the secret to all of that is you get what you think about most. You ask and you receive. And your asking is not about asking for it once. It's about your thinking about it. This is what I want you guys to understand. Your asking is not necessarily always in your verbalization of a question. Right? Of a question. Oh God, please can I have this Dave & Buster's card? Please, can I go to Dave & Buster's for my birthday? Okay. It's not necessarily in that. Why? Because there are tons of people who cannot speak. There are tons of people who may be deaf who can speak, but the enunciation might not be as clear as someone who speaks and can hear. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Like that can't be the modality, because some people can speak, some people cannot speak. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Some people can see with their physical eyes. Some people cannot see with their physical eyes. Some people can hear. Some people cannot hear with their physical ears. So if success was dependent upon any of our 5 senses that somebody else does not have, then that would not make it a law. That would mean that it's only pertinent to the people who could execute or utilize that sense. So then that would mean that the actual communication with the divine, the actual communication with the Most High, the actual communication with God, with what you call it, the universe, that communication, the modality must not be purely through the 5 senses. The communication must be through things that everybody has access to do, which is to think. You can think. That's why it says think and grow rich if you want to. You have the ability to think. Okay? And so if you have the ability to think, then what should you be thinking about? You should be thinking about what you want majority of the time that you are thinking. If you are not thinking about what you want the majority of the time that you are thinking, and that's your form of asking, because what you're thinking about is your asking. That's the key. Like what you're thinking about is what you're asking. So you could go to church on Sunday and say, God, please, I'd like to have a birthday party at Dave & Buster's. You could ask that. You could go and you could kneel before at the altar and all of that. You could do all of that and ask through your mouth. And that's fine. I'm not saying that doesn't work. What I'm saying is, but then you come home and Monday through Saturday, what you're thinking about is how difficult that thing is. Or what you're thinking about is you don't know how it's going to happen. And what you're thinking about is how challenging that thing is. And what you're thinking about is nobody believes you. And what you're thinking about how impossible it is. It doesn't matter that you went on Sunday and kneeled at the altar and asked for it verbally. What matters is that you communicated with the Most High through your thinking process that you actually don't want it, because what you're thinking about is not getting it. What you're really thinking about is not getting it. So you asked for it, but then you thought more of the time about how not getting it is feasible versus just thinking about having it. So many people think about not getting the thing that they're asking for majority of the time. That's why people say, stop with your excuses. That's why people say, we don't want to hear your complaining. That's why other successful people will say, cut it out with, you know, the whining and crying, right? That's what people will say that. Why? Because whining and crying and complaining and excuses, although they may seem valid in your mind, if they are not in direct alignment, which is what my boy above said, was Elijah, right? If they're not in alignment, you won't get it. So if you're asking, you asked verbally for the birthday party at Dave & Buster's, and then you're thinking about how it's impossible to pay for a birthday party at Dave & Buster's, then you're not in alignment. And if you're not in alignment, that means it won't happen. That means it won't happen because you're thinking about not having it more than thinking about having it. You asked for it verbally, but you're thinking about why it won't work. Okay, so John, okay, right, you know, so listen, here's the deal. The deal is, I want everybody, so let me go back. So last Monday, I gave everybody the daily 5 points, right? I gave everybody the daily 5 points to a winner's image. Right, to materializing a winner's image. How many of you guys remember that? Were you on the call last week where I gave you the 5 points? If you were on the call last week and you remember me talking about the 5 points, go ahead and type a 111 in the comment section. Okay, type a 111 in the comment section. Okay, I want to see if you were on and you have notes on the 5 things that you need to do daily. Because if you didn't listen to what I said last week and start implementing what I said last week, then you're just 1 week delayed yet again to the what? Progressive realization. The progressive realization. So you might have a worthy idea and you might have that goal. You do. You have it. Great. So now how do you get it? How do you have progressive realization? Well, if you don't follow the 5 steps to materializing that winner's image, then you will not have a progressive realization. What you will have is a wish and a hope. That's what you'll have. A wish and a hope. I wish and I hope. And that means that you're now waiting on somebody else to do something, when in reality, it's your responsibility to do what? To think about it, to ask as often as you can. Not, hey, God, please, can I have it? 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 Every day, wake up. Can I have it? Can I have it? Can I have it? It's not worry God to death. It's not like your children keep asking the same thing over and over and over. It's not that. It's once you understand that the law is, once you ask, you will receive, because that's the law. When you understand that, then you don't have to keep asking from the standpoint of a verbal perspective. Now what you have to do is you have to transition from a state now of asking for it into knowing that you are now in a progressive realization period. Right? You're in a progressive realization period. And the progressive realization period requires that you think about the thing that you want and the actual materialization of that thing majority of the time. It's not that hard to do. It's not like I said, go to school, study for 40 hours a week, bring back straight A's, pay $150,000 a year to go to Harvard, make your parents proud, graduate summa cum laude, pledge an organization, sorority or fraternity. It's not like I said any of that. Go and get a job, be the best at the interview, put on your best dressed stuff, make sure your hair is nice and neat. Men, make sure you're clean shaven to fit into the system. I didn't say any of that. But that's what the world told you to do so that you're distracted. Because while you're doing all of that shit, you have not even thought about the simplicity of what success really is and what the secret is. They've gotten you so distracted on sending you around the mulberry bush that even once you get around to the other side of the mulberry bush and you realize and you say, hey, Poo-Poo, and you say, oh my goodness, I'm not happy with my life and I'm 30, I'm 40, I'm 50, I'm 60. As soon as you say that, guess what? You still don't change. You still keep going all around you still keep going all the way around the mulberry bush, don't you? Did you have a good sleep? Yeah. Yeah. You gonna understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? That you're so distracted with the way the system has already told you what to do. Go to school, spend all your time in school. They told you to spend all your time in school. In fact, they told you to spend all your time studying for your math test. Spend all your time studying for that science test. Spend all your time studying for your midterm exam. Spend all your time studying for that final exam. Spend all your time going and touring different colleges. Spending all your time doing everything that has nothing to do with the secret to success. Isn't that disheartening a little bit? Right? But here's the key. We all went through that, right? We all went through that. So there's nothing to really be sad or angry about. It's like what's done is done, right? What's done is done. So now what do you do? What do you do now? What you do now is change the course of action now that your GPS has identified to you that you need to make a U-turn. Recalculating route. Recalculating your route is what you need to be doing right now. Recalculating your route. And it's saying make a U-turn. Make a U-turn. And you keep going straight. Why? Because your programming won't let you believe that the law of the universe actually supersedes the law of the land. Do you guys understand there's a difference between the law of the land and the law of the universe? The law of the universe is God's law. The law of the land is man's law. So if the law of the land says you got to go to school, you got to do this, you got to spend your time, you got to have A's and B's or C's, you got to pass this test, you got to go to this interview, you got to pass this interview, you got to get this job, you got to be here at 8 o'clock in the morning, you got to wear this type of outfit, you got to wear your hair and your facial hair needs to be like this. You got to wear these heels. You got to go here on this lunch. If that's the law of the land in order for you to actually generate money, then the question is, well, what does God's law say about that? Because some of y'all are so quick to throw out God's law when it's time to join a business, right? Now, this is slightly a different digression, right? But what I'm saying is some of y'all are so quick to say, well, let me pray about it first. Let you pray about what? You haven't really prayed about anything in a really long time, because praying about something is not purely just asking God for it. Praying about something is when you ask God for it and you already know that God has granted it to you, i.e. ask and it is given, knock and the door is opened, believe in your heart and you shall get it, right? That the law of God says that now all you have to do is just see it over and over and over, think about it over and over and over, and God will give it to you. That's the law. That's the law. So then when something is presented to you that's in alignment with what you've been asking for, if you've been asking for a financial increase, if you've been asking for time freedom, if you've been asking for a new way of life, if you've been asking for a way to leave that job, if you've been asking for a way to spend more time with your kids, if you've been asking for that, and then someone presents an opportunity to you, you don't need to pray about that. Do you know why? Because you already recognize it as the answer to the prayer you've already been praying. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Like some of y'all like to use this God and this prayer as excuses. And I'm not saying everybody does that, but I'm saying a lot of you guys use that as excuses to why you can't do something, because it makes you cover up your fear where the person that you're talking to doesn't challenge you. Right. You know how to get somebody off your back. In other words, like you've learned how to escape the system. So how do you keep somebody from asking you and critiquing you more and actually drilling down to find your core rationale? Well, if you say, well, I got to pray about it, what you've realized is that most people will not challenge you when you say you got to pray about it. Why? Because people have a respect for God. And even though you're not really praying about it, you say it. You say it. Because the truth of the matter is, if you had already been praying about it, then you would recognize this is the answer. You would recognize this is the answer. So the fact is that you have not been praying about it and you're using prayer as an excuse to cover up your fear. I see you. Do you understand? You can't come to me with that because I see all through that. So I would just say to you, listen, I understand that you're afraid to get started. But what is it that God is going to tell you today about you having success in your life that he haven't already told you last week about you having success in your life? What is it that you know about success that God is going to tell you that you have never heard before? There's nothing that you don't know that God has already expressed to you, explained to you, revealed to you. You know what it takes. You know what it takes already. It's you're afraid. And that's okay if you're afraid, but don't blame God for that. That's my issue. Just say, you know what? I'm afraid. I'm afraid. Just be honest. I'm afraid to spend my money because I don't believe in myself enough yet to really trust that I can make my own money. Just say that. Because I have way more respect for you if you just be honorable to yourself and say, listen, I don't trust myself. I don't believe in myself enough to believe that I could actually generate the type of income that I want for myself. If you said that, then what would that do? That would actually open up the door for somebody to help you. But you don't want help. You want to hide behind a facade and you want to shield that with a sheer curtain that you want to call God. But we see through that. Because that's not God, right? God gives you the desires of your heart. So if you are asking for freedom, if you are asking for success, if you are asking for the realization of a worthy idea, if you are asking for that through your thinking about it all the time, through your believing that you're going to have it, through your acceptance and your visualization that what you ask for, you get. And then down the road, somebody comes to you and they share with you an opportunity, regardless of what it is, an opportunity for you to actually elevate yourself and for you to actually get what you've been asking for. You don't now need to go back to God and pray about it because you've been praying about it all this time. God has now delivered the answer. He's delivered the answer. And now your fear will not let you be receptive. Your fear would not let you be perceptive. I'm sorry, you got me distracted. Receptive. I did not. You did, Pumpkin. You made I was thinking about something else. Stop it. Stop, baby. Come on, sit down. You got to get down. Your fear of it will not let you be receptive. Sorry. You will not receive the person has been delivered to you via your thinking about it. The event, the people, the circumstance has been created around what you've been asking and steps right on your foot or drops right on your head, knocks you right upside your head. And you look at it and it looks weird to you. Oh, then that's because you don't really want it. Because when you really, 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 really want a Lamborghini and you've been asking for a Lamborghini, and then that's what you have. That's right, boo. You do, don't you? You already got your Lamborghini. If you've been wanting that and asking for that, and you stumble upon a Lamborghini, and you can see that the Lamborghini is going to cost a certain price, hey, you got to be willing to pay the price. You can't be like, oh, let me go pray about it. Well, what you going to pray about? You've been asking about a Lamborghini for 2 years. Now you have an opportunity to buy a Lamborghini.
Actually, I want a real Lamborghini.
Actually, you want a real one. I know. You got one, don't you?
Yeah.
Already. Where is it? In your mind?
Yes.
It's in your mind already, right?
Yes.
That's right. So you stumble upon this Lamborghini, and now they say it's X amount of thousands of dollars. You don't be like, let me go pray about it. Because if you really wanted it and you saw you had an opportunity to buy it, you would spend your money on it because you have to pay the price for it. You have to pay the price for it. It's simple. But when you say you want freedom, you want financial remuneration, you say that you want to be, you want to have success, you want to have, more finances in your life, you want to have increase, right? You want things to be restored. And you've been asking for it. And then you see a big old buffet of all of this stuff: money, success, love, health, family. You see all of that right there on a table. You stumble right upon it. And then you say, let me go pray about it. That's a game. You scared. You're scared. And nowhere in the definition of success does it say fear or scared. It doesn't. It says the progressive realization. Say progressive. Realization of a worthy idea. That's right. And so your worthy idea is your Lamborghini, right?
Yes.
That's right. Okay.
I'll go get it.
You gonna go get it? Well, go get it then, boo. Okay. So you guys, that's my message for you here on today. Okay. The secret to success is you get what you think about most. You get what you think about most. You get what you think about most. What you have to ask yourself is this: if you have your own definition of own secret of success, ask yourself, haven't you been doing that already?
Mommy, I found a new bullet.
Okay, that's okay. Haven't you been doing that already? So like my boy Jordan says, consistency and drive. Well, okay, if that's the case, then everybody that's consistent and everybody that has drive should be successful. And that's not true. You can test your own theory. Is all you have to do be consistent and have drive? No, because if that's the case, everybody would already be successful. If all you had to do was have a plan. No, because there's tons of people that have plans that are not successful. It's not about having a plan by itself. It's not about having a goal. It's not about being consistent and having drive. That's not the secret to it. These are components to helping you in the progressive realization, but that's not the secret to it. The secret to it all is thinking about it more than you think about anything else. That's it. Most of you do not think about the goal that you want more than you think about anything else. That's the truth. Most of you think about what you don't want majority of the time. So then you get what you don't want. You think about how it's not going to happen. So then it doesn't happen. You think about all the things that could go wrong and then they go wrong. Listen, what about the people that think about something but don't do anything? Listen. Okay? You have to bring all the components together. You also know that faith without works is dead. You know that. Okay? It's not isolation, guys. You guys are trying to isolate concepts. You got to understand that first, the secret to it is that you got to think about it more than anything else. You got to think about it more than anything else. And what I will say about the people who think about it but don't do anything, here's what I will say. What I will say is that the people who understand the law of the universe usually do less in terms of the labor. The labor is less than the person who's not thinking about it. Right? Why? Because when you're thinking about it, you are now invoking certain things in the spiritual realm to start working on your behalf. You're now opening the door for God to bring people to you for you to act upon, to bring circumstances to you for you to act upon, to bring events to you so that you can act upon. People will start to come into your realm that you would not have met. People will start becoming your friends on Facebook and Instagram. You will start seeing things happening that you are not in control of because you've been thinking about it. Now, when those things come, you do need to act upon them. You need to act upon them because just you think about it, that's the secret to getting it. But what is success? The secret to success is thinking about it. Thinking about the thing. But what is success? The progressive realization. So if the secret to getting the success, I got to think about it, then great, I'm thinking about it. And God does what? God brings me the people, the events, and the circumstances for my desired goal to manifest itself. He brings it to me. But if I do not act upon the people, the events, and the circumstances, then that is not a progressive realization. That's not a realization at all. So it's not just the secret to success. It's also the definition of success. Do you understand? If you would simply walk away from this call with understanding there is a secret to success, and then there is a definition of success, and you combine these things together, you would be good. You would be good. Because a progressive realization, it kind of just has an underlying current that progressive is you've got to be growing. You've got to be doing something. You've got to be moving forward. That's what progressive is, right? So if you do not understand the definition of success, and you're only focused on the secret to success, then you're missing the whole picture. You cannot isolate one concept from the other. It's both. It's the secret to getting the success is you've got to think about the thing more than anything else. But the getting of the thing, right? Success itself is the progressive realization of getting the thing. Progressive realization. Progressive realization. I keep saying it because I want you to get it. Stop challenging what your spirit is trying to get through to you. Okay. You're pushing the energy away and I'm delivering it to you. It's progressive realization. Progressive means you have to be moving. Something has to be being done. Something has to be a realization. It has to go from not existing to existing. That sheer energy to make something go from not existing to existing is something called some type of work of some sort. Now, for the most successful people who understand this concept of the secret, the work that they have to do is far less than the work of someone who does not understand this. Is it work? Yes. But is it more or less? It's usually less. In other words, it is less laborious. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's less laborious on the mental. It's less laborious on the body. It's less laborious because you are in alignment. When you are in alignment, there is no resistance. What creates something to feel like this is hard or this is work is when there's resistance. When you put on the weights, a free weight at the gym, and you do like this, the fact that there's resistance in the 25-pound weight is what makes you feel the strain on the muscle. That's what makes you say, oh my God, this is heavy. This is hard, because there's resistance. When you don't have resistance, you have alignment. And when you have alignment, then if you're doing the work, it's less laborious because you're in alignment. Do you understand? That's what this is. That's what this is. You have got to understand the concepts, and they cannot be isolated from one another, right?
Yes.
They can't be isolated.
They can't be isolated.
That's correct. All right. So Josiah, say the secret to success.
The secret is success
Is you get what you think about most. That's it. Can you do that?
Yes.
Can you think about what you want most?
Yes.
Of course you do, because all day he's like, I want a snack, and he think about it all day, and he say it all day. That's why kids, if you pay attention, they can be the greatest teachers. Some parents and some adults are so busy trying to boss the kids around that you miss the blessing that the kid is giving to you. The fact that he is so consistent with what he wants and how he wants it, and the fact that he wants it, that is the lesson that I get every single day, is that if I were just as consistent as he with the things that I want, like he is with the things that he wants, he gets what he wants, right? Just like the law would say, I would get what I want. It's like the law says you get what you want. It's for everybody. It's that the kids have no resistance. So they're in alignment. You have all this resistance, and you have all this baggage, and you have all this indoctrination, and you have all this resentment, and you have all this, all this stuff. You see John Hill? You have all this stuff that's going on that's preventing you from being in alignment. So that's the message for today, ladies and gentlemen. What is the secret to success? Yes. The secret to success is you get what you think about most. That's the secret to it. Then what is success? Success is the progressive realization of a worthy idea. And here's where you come into play. You get to decide what the worthy idea is. You decide. Is it wealth? Is it riches? Is it the car? Is it the house? Is it the family? Is it the this, the that?
Is it the Dave and Buster's?
Is it the Dave and Buster's? Is it what is success? So if that is your success, your worthy idea. Or Chick-fil-A, yeah, of course. If that's your worthy idea, then the progressive realization of that through processes. What processes? The 5-point program for materializing your winner's image. So the very first thing, that's what I was getting to, the thing is you have got to think about what you want. And the very first step in those 5 steps, the very first step in that is to relax, and at least for 20 minutes a day, or 20 minutes 3 times a day, you focus on what you want. That's what Bob Proctor says. 20 minutes 3 times a day is enough energy that if you focused for those 20 minutes 3 times a day, which is 60 minutes, it's 1 hour broken up into thirds, that if you would just allow yourself to focus on the law of the universe, y'all praying, right? Y'all praying, but y'all ain't got an hour. Y'all don't got an hour to really get what you want to get, but you got an hour to go to work and be distracted. Okay. So 20 minutes 3 times a day, you sit down and you focus and think about what you want and what having it looks like and what having it feels like. If you think about it, 20 minutes 3 times a day, the laws say that that is enough energy that you can start to have what? A progressive realization. But if you don't do the thinking, 20 minutes 3 times a day, if you don't do the thinking, then you never initiate a progressive realization. And if you never initiate a progressive realization, what you have is a hope and a wish. That's what you have, a hope and a wish. And there's no need for you to hope, and there's no need for you to wish when you know how to get what you want to get by following the law of the universe. So you think about it 3 times a day for 20 minutes each time. That's the action that everybody here should be doing every single day. If I come back tomorrow and I say, what is the secret to success? Everybody connected to me should be saying the secret to success is you get what you think about most. Right, Saya?
Yes.
That's right. You get what you think about most. Modeling at its best, right? He's modeling his mom, right? You get what you think about most. So if you never sit down to think about it, then how could you actually invoke the energy and the spirit to start moving it towards you? You don't. You're just hoping and praying. So that is the goal. Every single day, 3 times a day for 20 minutes, you need to think about what it is that you want. And you need to feel it, having it. You need to think about, you have to see yourself with it. You have to enjoy it. You have to do all of that in your mind, all of that in your imagination, all of that in your inside energy, in your visualizations. All of that has to happen first. That's what makes it the secret, because it's first. Without that, you get nothing. You get nothing. Well, that's not true, because you actually are thinking about what you want, but from the negative perspective. You're thinking about how you're not going to get it. Okay, so that is the key. And that is the message for Josiah. Come on now. That is the message for today. That the secret to success is you get what you think about most. If you think about it majority of the time, the law says that you will now start to have what we call success. And success is defined as the progressive realization of a worthy idea. What is the worthy idea? Whatever you decided you wanted to think about the most, and whatever you decided that you wanted. The worthy idea is you get to decide that. That's why everybody's success is different. That's why success is not any particular thing or the other of a tangible something. It's not love. It's not none of that. Success is what you say it is. So you can't deem that on somebody else. So as long as you have materialized you have realized your worthy idea, then you are successful. If you have realized your worthy idea. If you don't have a worthy idea, then stop trying to tell other people what they should be doing, because it's their worthy idea. It might not be your worthy idea. You might not find value in their worthy idea. It ain't your business about their worthy idea. Let them live the way they want to live. Your job is to focus on your worthy idea. And if your worthy idea is worthy enough to you, then you need to focus on on its progressive realization. And the only way that you focus on its progressive realization is that you need to sit down for 20 minutes 3 times a day and think about what your worthy idea is, not telling somebody else what success ain't. Argue with somebody about what their worthy idea is. You don't have the right or the authority to do that. That's not your responsibility. The only responsibility you have is to respond with ability to your worthy idea. Do you understand? And you do that by thinking about it 3 times a day for 20 minutes every single day. Thinking about it, feeling what it feels like to have it, being happy in your mind, visualizing it, living in it, starting to feel so real, you crafting it out in your mind. That's what will start the realization process. That is what we would call the manifestation process. And if you don't do that, then no mentor is ever going to be able to help you. You're not going to be able to have success that you want ever, because you won't even start with the secret. If you need more info on this, guys, look, I ain't the first person that said this. I'm nowhere near around when this is, because this is the universal law, like all of us. So here's my thing. Go study The Strangest Secret. Go study The Science of Getting Rich. Go study Think and Grow Rich. Go study those things, because they're telling you how to infuse all of the concepts together. And if you would just think about it like I just told you to think about it, then you got it. You got it. But now, yes, you're right. You do have to do the work. The work is in the thinking. That's the work that nobody's doing. None of y'all thinking about it 3 times a day, 20 minutes a day. You're not. Because if you were, you start seeing the progressive realization, but you don't see it. And how do we know you don't see it? I mean, how do we know that you're not doing it? Because you don't see the results. Okay. So that's the first thing. You have to think about it. That's the work. And when you think about it, what happens is that God starts to bring to you through people, through circumstances, and through events, the things that will help you attain that worthy idea. But then if you don't act on it, that's what I say. So you say you want something, you've been thinking about it. Great. God brings you a business opportunity, sits dead smack in your living room table, your dining room table. You sit there, you look at it, and you don't act. Then you slow down the progressive realization. The law is you will have progressive realization, but if you stop the process, then you will not have progressive realization. That is common sense. That is dang on common sense. All right. So you guys now have the secret to success. You know exactly what it is. It doesn't change from time to time. It doesn't change from person to person. It doesn't change from place to place, from generation to generation, from school to school, from age group to age group, from religion to religion, from background to background. It doesn't. It's the same. That's why it's the secret. But it's so strange because people just kind of ignore it and just kind of rotate around it, and they hear it and they want to recite it, but they don't really practice it. What are you afraid of? That it might work? What are you afraid of? That it might work? Like, if it actually started to work, you would then realize all this shit I've been doing all this time don't work. And they bamboozled me. And you're afraid to let go of that reality for a new reality. But everything that you want means that you have to let go of what you think you have right now. You got to let today go so that you can go into, you got to let yesterday go so that you can live for today. You got to let it go. You cannot hold on to yesterday's principles and ideals if you want to go forward to ideals and principles that you've never experienced before. Let the old ideas go and embrace the new. That's how it works. Okay. So what is the task? What is the goal? The goal is, and what is your exercise, your assignment for life, not for this next week, not for every day. Just take one day at a time. Today, what is your goal? Today, your goal is to sit down for 20 minutes, 3 times a day, and think about what it is you want most, to visualize what it is that you want most, to feel what it is to have the thing that you want most, and to just know that, like, that's the law. The law is I'm going to get it if I keep thinking about it. Like this, I'm going to get it. That's the faith part. But you got to believe in the law first. If you don't believe in the law, then you don't have the faith. It's just that simple. Like, not faith in you, faith in the law, faith in God. Society, just a minute. Not faith in you, not faith in man, not faith in other people, not faith in your company owner, not faith in that. Faith in what? The law of the universe, God's law. If you have faith that God said what you ask for, you'll get, and then you sit down and you ask for it in your mind, you ask for it in your thoughts, then what else is there for you to challenge? There's nothing to challenge, because you're gonna get what you think about. Period. Discussion is over. I've dropped the mic. That is it. We are done. Money Mondays is a wrap, and I hope that you guys had an amazing afternoon with me here on today. Be sure to share this video if you believe somebody can have some insight from it. Be sure to watch it again if you need to. I love you. I appreciate you guys. And remember, you can live life free, but you have got to follow the laws of the universe. The laws of the universe are set for our own progressive realization.
Adios.
Adios. Peace.